Join the Fuzz Buzz, where retired Lieutenant Jessica Taylor and retired Motors Officer Mike Gonzalez serve law enforcement's unfiltered reality. No PC, just raw, uncensored truth. 50 years in the trenches. Buckle up for a blunt, gritty ride behind the badge. No apologies here for shaking things up, demanding better policing, and real community action. It's raw, edgy, and a streetwise journey towards solutions. So strap in and let's rev this truth up.
Well, hi.
Well, hello there.
So, you guys, this is like our third or fourth time trying to record this, right?
Man, we got to dime this out.
Well, because I'm just honest.
It's a work in progress.
It is. We have so many screens set up and so much lighting, and sometimes the audio would work, and sometimes if we're both on screen, Mike's audio wouldn't work, and it is definitely serious learning curve here. So this is the final time with this content. And then we'll just move on if this doesn't record well.
Yeah, I'd say bear with us, but you haven't seen any of the other stuff. We've gone through the pain, so it's all good.
Right. You don't know what you've been missing, but it's been a lot of hair pulling. That is for sure. So what you been up to, Mike?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You waiting on your shoulder surgery?
Living in misery. Shoulder surgery. Yeah, shoulder hurts.
Yeah.
What can you do?
No, but I've been making like these little poo bags for a community.
Yeah. Getting a lot of traction on those. People really enjoy them. Really want them.
Yeah. And so this woman who got one of the poo bags left me a little present when she dropped it off. And I thought it was really nice because I wasn't expecting anything. But anyways, it came in a little bag with a note, and it's Blue Line soap. And
very nice.
Yeah. And it's called Officer Soap. And it's, if you're interested, it's silverhillsoapery.com if you're interested in buying from her.
Yes.
I just thought it was very, very nice. She certainly didn't need to do that.
You also have to tell the folks out there that you're just giving away all your merchandise because you're just kind of learning as you go and paying it. You know, all you ask for them to pay it forward, and this one did.
Yeah. Yep. So we still have some more, and I can't wait to craft this afternoon because, hold on, let me get my phone real quick. I have to tell you, we watched American Nightmare, right? Which I started watching while I was crafting. I'm like, oh, I got to stop this so you can see it. But here are two new ones. So write this down so we don't forget. Sydney, my eyelash girl, sent them to me.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so if you want really amazing eyelashes, you need to go to Sydney at the Dollhouse Salon.
Yeah, because they all live in the Tri-Cities.
I know, but if you do. Okay, so she said Tinder swindler.
Tinder, like the Tinder date app thing?
Yeah, like swipe right, I think. And captive audience. And she said, oh, you got to start with captive audience.
What do we, captive audience? That sounds intriguing. What did we just watch? What was that? The Watcher?
Yeah.
7 episodes. It was good up to the end of the 5th. Then it kind of.
Yeah. And then I just kind of like lost interest. Yeah.
Well,
big time.
Yeah. There's no suspense to it. There's like, no, oh my gosh. It's just like, geez, I hate to say it's just a kind of a weak ending. And I say it's based off of a true story too.
Yeah. I really weak ending in my opinion.
Yeah.
So let's start with Hobby Lobby. So I've been crafting so much that I've been going to Hobby Lobby like on the reg, but because Hobby Lobby is the only one that carries some stuff that I need, the other craft stores in town do not. So I had seen on TikTok that Hobby Lobby has different pricings for the same items. And in the comments section, people are like, oh, well, it's inflation. They just mark it up and it's a wash.
Well, they don't mark it up. They just mislabel it.
They're saying that the lower price was the original price. And now that the new product is coming in, they're marking it at the inflation price or whatever.
Because that's not good business practice, because you're still losing money.
Well, what they're doing is bad business practice, and they're still doing it anyways. Yeah. So anyway, I'm like, no, they don't. So this is the first time that I discovered this issue at Hobby Lobby. Okay, here's a second video. Same basket, 14 by 11 by 4, $19.99. 14 by 11 by 4, $21.99. Seriously, what the hell? Okay, now check this out. These are like caddies of some sort. Exactly the same, all colors. This one, $12.99. This one, $11.99. Dude, let's do it again, okay? $12.99. $13.99. Okay, now these are really cute. Look at how cute this little bird is. And look, she's only $8.99. Unless you go right here, and then she's $16.99. So anyway, I bet that's why they don't have the barcode reader thing here, is because that way they can rip you off and you'd have no idea. Crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And it's not like they're trying to hide it.
Yeah.
They just, it's like everywhere in that store.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
If it was just a buck different on all items, I wouldn't have too much heartburn because it could just be a simple mistake.
Right.
But when you're talking like almost 50% difference.
Or 100% in some cases.
Yeah, 100%. That's, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and so here's the second video a few days later. Hobby Lobby, and I'm only at Hobby Lobby because they're the only ones that sell what I need right now, but I'm still going to do the price check thing, so hang tight. Same baskets. $27.99. Look at the measurement. $24.99, same measurement. $27.99, $24.99, exactly the same. Here's a good one. $28.99. $34.99. Okay, I'm done. And the verdict is nothing has changed at Hobby Lobby. Nothing had changed at that point either. So yesterday, my embroidery machine had broken night before last when I was making a poo bag. And this is one of those times where it's like the kindness has just come full circle. So this woman that's in the group that I belong to, she said she owns an embroidery business, and she said, I'll come over and see if I can fix it. She couldn't fix it. She owns Goat Trails in Richland, and their embroidery and silk screening. Then she said, but contact Ginny at Discount Back and Sew. So I put in the Facebook group that, we were headed over there with my machine. And I didn't wait for a response because it was Monday and I just assumed that they were open. Well, they were not. But Ginny had her employee open the store and fix my machine.
Yeah, he was there regardless because, he's the guy that fixes everything. So he just takes Monday and just dedicates his whole time because he's a really good dude.
Yeah, Mateo,
yeah. So he was there already, but just the fact that he stopped everything he was doing, she opened the store. It was pretty cool.
It was really neat. And he fixed it right up in 10 minutes and I was back in business. But after that, I drug Mike to Hobby Lobby again because I needed more, because my machine had failed and I needed white vinyl. So we had to go to Hobby Lobby again. And here's what happened again. We're at Hobby Lobby getting supplies.
Hobby Lobby.
And just stand by. So we're going to do the price check again, just so you can see. You ready? Cow. $14.99. Unless you're this cow, then you're $7.99. Pig. $7.99. Unless you're this pig, and then you're $14.99. Okay, industrial shelving. How much? $27.99. unless you're this one, and then you're $44.99. All of that to say, that's shady shit. So what? I mean, really, as retired cops, and I know that how I feel, I do not like shady. And that just seems very, very shady and sketchy. Like if you were to cash out, with your bird, and I paid, $16.99 for my bird, and then you come in behind me and buy your bird, same bird for $8.99 or whatever. They're not going to run out after me to give me the discounted price that you found.
No, maybe that's why they don't do the barcode. Then if numbers are flashing up, you're like, hey, I got the wait a minute, I got that same bird. Wait.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, I don't know, but I do not like it. And you guys, if you go to Hobby Lobby, be sure you spend the extra time looking for the best price on the same product.
Oh, you're still
because
you
can
Lobby,
still, save yourself $10 on an item.
Yeah, if not more.
If not more. Yeah, it's just insane. So every week we like to cover, or at least I do. Mike's not as interested in it as I am.
Embroidery for the last 11 minutes. Come on.
Yeah, well, you were kind of sucked into that. So I like to cover special projects, government secret projects. And so this one I did on Project Bluebeam, and it's over on Jessica Unleashed, which is just a short segment on the Fuzz Buzz podcast, but you can also find that on YouTube. We won't cover it here, but that's where you can go to learn about Bluebeam, because I think that's going to become very important very soon. So before we dive down into the longer videos, let's just go over these short ones. Mike, do you remember that one that I showed you that was just the Ohio one?
Ohio. Gosh, they'll kind of run together, but remind me.
This one?
Oh, yeah. This one. Yeah. What was this? Call to service. Apparently, somebody inside that said they're feeling suicidal.
Oh, yeah. Let's.
And so this officer with her partner, they can't get an answer at the door. She's standing right there in the doorway trying to get somebody to answer for just a service call.
Yeah, which is normal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a total normal response. So it happens so fast that you just kind of.
Here it comes. Here it is. Here it comes. Here it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the final outcome was.
Yeah.
Do you?
No. But, I mean, maybe, I don't know if that was the guy that actually called or there's somebody else, but, you get this call. It's like, hey, I'm feeling suicidal. I want to hurt myself. I need help. And you go there to help. And that's how she was greeted at the door. I mean, kudos to her. I mean,
yeah, I thought she did, for given the circumstances, I thought she did a phenomenal job.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if her ducking was planned or it just natural instinct, but it saved her life. And then she returned fire. I mean, all in the same breath. It's like, you can't ask for a better response than that, or,
yeah, no.
She wasn't injured. You can't ask for a better outcome.
Yeah. Agreed. Let's talk about, this call. This was the police officer who rolls up on a woman being raped at knife point in the middle of the day.
Oh, yeah. This one was in Baltimore.
Yeah. And just take a peek.
Get down! Signal 13, get down! Get down! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots. Get down! Signal 13, get down! Get down!
Yeah, crazy. It's hard to see on the body cam when he was running up, but yeah, suspect clearly had a butcher knife in his right hand and was basically on top of the victim. So, deadly force. It's a deadly force situation. The guy's armed and about to take someone's life. So, but I think I read 13 shots. So, I never
Nope, we weren't there. Not here to criticize.
Not
Just
inside his
know
brain.
that you are responsible for every single round, and you have to be able to articulate why you fired every single round and when you fired it.
Yep. But the woman, the victim, she was unhurt. She wasn't shot. She wasn't stabbed. So she walked away unhurt. Suspect, unfortunately, was taken to hospital and died of his injuries.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. I read that too. So yeah, well, after being shot 13 times, I mean,
yeah,
at
close range, yeah,
kind of hard to survive that one.
Yeah, I mean, the whole situation is sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I don't know, but that's a full magazine, and you need to account for every single round.
Yeah. Justified in the shooting to stop the threat. Yeah. Without a doubt. But if he felt the need, then that officer has to articulate it.
Mm-hmm.
So
this one.
Oh yeah, crazy guy.
Yeah.
And what do they call those front end loaders, little bobcats?
Some guy in a bobcat just came through and absolutely destroyed the car. For why, I have no idea. He looked in and just laughed at us. I have no idea what the hell just happened.
Guy's going crazy with the skid loader. Holy shit.
Everything I read on this is that guy who was driving that bobcat skid loader, he was an employee of the company that owned it. So he had a right to be in it, on it, operating it.
Yeah.
I don't think, but not under that capacity. But it didn't say anything whether drugs or alcohol were at play or if he just had some kind of mental snap. But that's clearly having a bad day, throwing a temper tantrum at the very least.
Yeah, at the minimum. That's crazy. I thought the cop did a really good job in getting out of the car, and
you couldn't see. Yeah, we could see if you blow it up. The officer drew down, but again, he'd have to articulate, felt justified, and like that much movement going around on an all metal machine. I think it'd be hard to get off a solid shot. So
yeah, this was one of those.
What the hell? Oh my God! No way!
Yeah, I couldn't imagine rolling up on that and he comes storming down at me with that bobcat.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing?
And then it'd be on snow and ice. It's like you can't really get out of there. So the bobcat was on tracks, not wheels, so it made it a lot easier for him. That guy. But
yeah,
crazy.
Okay, let's move on to our long form videos and let's talk about first the DUI Utah incident.
Yeah, this one outside Ogden, Utah. From all accounts of the way it sounds like the 911 caller was somebody that was tracked in the car because they weren't on scene and they're given very specific details of, where they're at, the speed they're driving at. And even went as far as to say that the minor driving was intoxicated because they'd been drinking at their house and took the keys and left with 3 other minors in the car. He gave up good live locations of where the car was, and the county sheriffs were actually able to catch up with it.
Okay, let's see.
Hey, face, please, hands up!
Oh, this is the wrong one?
Yeah, that's Phoenix.
Well, let's not do
Hey,
that
Ray,
one.
it's Phoenix Police, hands!
Hang on.
Hands up!
Yeah, that's not a DUI.
I'm like, wait, that doesn't even look right. Okay, now that we found the right video.
Yeah, we're on the right video now. Here we go.
City of your emergency.
So he's getting on to 84 from 89.
Okay.
He's going 84 westbound.
Okay.
2011 BMW 335i, blue, no front bumper. He has the plate number T923 Kilo Alpha.
Okay,
The
so
Utah plate.
what's going on in this vehicle?
He's DUI.
Okay, do you know that is he driving?
Yes, he grabbed his keys and left my house. He's drunk.
Okay.
He's also a minor. He has 3 other minors with him, and he has alcohol in the car. It helps. He was doing 80 on Riverdale.
Okay, it looks like I
He's
might have
at-
a trooper behind him. So
He's at 1900 West. He's probably going to be going south.
yep, southbound on. Yep, I do have a trooper behind him.
Perfect.
We'll just wait till make sure they get him pulled over before we.
He is going to run.
Okay, and I did let him know he is going to run.
He's going westbound on 5400.
Westbound on 54.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, looks like he's getting. They're attempting to pull him over now.
Perfect. Like I said, I have his live location if he tries to pull away.
Okay.
He's speeding up. He's running. He's running.
He's running.
70 miles an hour. 1950 West. 5300. He's coming eastbound on 53. Back to 1900 West.
Okay.
He's doing 70 miles an hour on 5300 Riverdale. Yep, he's doing 85
On Riverdale.
on Riverdale. 5300 South Street. 91 miles an hour.
Okay. Yeah, my deputy is trying to follow him. So
107.
107 miles per hour.
Yep, Riverdale Road.
My vehicle on 10-4.
Wow. A lot happened in there. It's like, we both have different opinions and views on pursuits. And here in the state of Washington, there's very few times you can pursue, but DUI is one of them. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. That was a whole lot of amped upness that probably, could have ended a lot worse for a lot of people. So thankfully it was just a damaged car.
Well, you look at the totality of the circumstances, right? You've got possibly a DUI. They're saying he is, but he's not really driving erratic.
Yeah.
That I noticed. And then you've got 4 minors in that car.
Yep. You have an inexperienced driver because if they're a minor, they haven't been driving that long, even if they're 18, 19, and supposedly drunk minor, and you're pushing them to their very limits. And
right. So are you creating an officer created jeopardy kind of situation by
Exactly.
chasing them at, 100 and what do you say?
107 at one point,
Yeah. For possibly a DUI.
Yeah. And then, like I said, there's one incident in there where they said they rammed them.
But that's what I was going to say. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on trying to pinch them in versus ramming.
Well, that's the thing. If you're on the offense and you're initiating a move to pinch them in, and they hit you because you tried to pinch them in, that's not a ramming. A ramming is if you're
just standing there minding your business,
right?
and
You're at an intersection, you got your lights on, you're not moving, and they intentionally hit your car. Yeah, I mean, we've had it happen here, with the people we've worked with, and it's amped up, all relative, depends, but it's just that's not a
that led to the shooting, right? Or
could have, because like you as a supervisor, when you were on and you're like, okay, DUI, I'm going to have to terminate this here. Wait, what? No, they just rammed one of my officers. That's an assault. It changes the whole dynamics.
Yeah.
Which could have ended up leading to a shooting. And again, I mean, I'm just armchair quarterbacking it, but why would you jump out of a safe vehicle into the pathway of a suspect vehicle and then open fire on it in self-defense
with other minors in the car?
Yeah, you have three, who knows if the three other minors aren't, victims being held against their will, saying, "Stop! I want to get out. Let me."
Yeah.
So, but none of them were shot from the synopsis.
Super lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, just like super lucky. Okay, moving on. Set us up for Phoenix.
Phoenix. Oh yes, this is the fugitive apprehension investigative. What? Yeah.
I don't know.
What's a D? Yeah.
Detail.
Detail. They're fugitive apprehension, basically. And, they go after the worst of the worst. And here they are in Phoenix. And they basically have their sights on a known person with a known violent felony warrant. And they're basically trying to cut him off and arrest him.
Okay.
It happens quick.
It does, yeah.
Hey, Phoenix, please, hands up! Hey, Ray, Phoenix, please, hands up! I'm good.
8 suspects down. We had 9 mil deployed.
Hold him, get him cuffed. I'm good. Hands up! Hey! Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Your thoughts?
Well, just from experience, I know that these kind of units and details work really well together.
Mm-hmm.
And I know also from experience that you're responding to most likely an armed person that is going to run. That is why they're the fugitive unit.
Yeah.
And I thought, their communication was good. I thought they moved as a team. They knew, we always worry about crossfire situations. And then that was certainly one.
Yeah. And what I saw is there were crossfire opportunities, but they're trained enough to, go to the low ready and not
disciplined
engage.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah. They're just disengaged. And, I have a little bit of experience in that, being from, I was on an ACT team, a 6-person squad that we all trained together. And that's what we did some of the times. We did the less lethal, dangerous things that SWAT didn't have time to do. So, I've been in numerous situations like that. And it's, you trust the other person, and you train so well together that what they're thinking and doing. So you just, you don't cringe as much as you should seeing this guy running through a gauntlet of gunfire and worry about the crossfire, because that's how professional and the training they got. So good for them. It's like,
yeah, good job. Yeah, really.
Suspect, I believe, died. One detective was hit, minor injuries.
I mean, you still got to do police work, right? But you want to be as prepared as possible. And, these are the types of situations that that happen. They're very unfortunate,
Yeah.
but they do happen. So
A lot of the stuff they encountered is unavoidable, but they mitigated the dangers and managed it very well.
agreed. So with that in mind, let's move to Mesa.
Mesa, Arizona. This is a DV call. The daughter called because the mom's boyfriend got out of pocket. He was basically, I don't know. It started off as DV arguments, then it turned into got physical. He leaves the house and basically locks himself into an attached storage unit to the trailer, and where he was said to be lighting property on fire and armed with a knife, hurting himself.
What I want to add to that situation is watch what you have a beanbag shotgun officer, you have a taser officer, you have lethal cover officer, and then you had comms, right?
Yeah.
Is that how it went? And then notice the distance between, because it goes real fast, notice the distance between the officers and the suspect, and then notice all the shit in the middle.
Yeah.
Because that matters.
Because they're going to attempt to use less lethal, and that all does matter. And
it does matter.
And then on top of that, you have to at least give the less lethal an opportunity to see if it worked or didn't work before you reassess.
And how much de-escalation did you use, or could you have used? So goes real fast.
At the end, it starts off a little slow.
Yeah. Let me pop you up. There we go.
What's going on there?
My mom's boyfriend locked himself inside a storage and is burning all his stuff, and he won't get out. He locked himself inside the storage and vandalizing her items.
Okay.
He won't come out.
So you're in a verbal altercation with your stepfather? Has it been physical today?
Yes, starting to get physical.
So you're taking inside the trailer. There's a 16-year-old, 14, 10, 7, and a baby. And has he cut himself?
Yes, he was playing when he pushed the hose out of the shed.
What did he cut himself with?
It's blade, those blades for hose stretching.
Mesa police. Can we get everyone out of the trailer, please?
You want to get your siblings?
Let's just get everyone out.
Hi. Hi, guys. You want to get your siblings?
Siblings?
Yeah, your siblings that are in there.
I have bunnies.
Do you have bunnies?
Want me to show you?
Can the oldest one grab the baby? Who has a baby? Okay. You guys want to come with me? Here, buddy. Come on. Let's go this way. You can go stand by my cool patrol car. Or you can go, is that Mom over there? You can go stand by Mom.
Stop right now.
Okay, so just right here, take note of all the crap that is in the backyard and where these officers are lined up on in this scene.
Stop. Stop right now.
David, you need to stop. You need to stop what
David,
you're doing
stop
right
moving
now.
around.
Go ahead, you take over.
David, let me see your hands.
Hey, bud, stop what
David,
you're...
let me see your hands. Okay.
I got it. I think it's 62. We got a 998 subject down.
David, let me see your hands.
Taser. Lean back.
I got it. So our subject's down. His hands are covered up by clothing that he presented. Don't move. You're against the team. Don't move, David. Don't move. Here's his knife. There's a knife. Let's roll him that way and just double check just to make sure.
Okay, well, first of all, that looked like a drill to me.
Yeah, but there was a utility knife.
Oh, there was?
Yeah, when they flipped it, you could see it a little bit. And then when they did their little evidence shot, it wasn't in there. But yeah, no, he had a utility knife and a drill. cordless drill.
Thoughts?
You know, I mean, like I said, they set everything up well. You know, they talked to the victim. They got all the parties, the kids and everything out of harm's way before they contacted the suspect. And
he was in the backyard.
Yeah, he was in the backyard, and they had their tasers already out. Lethal was right beside him as they were trying to, talk with him. And then, of course, then the female officer showed up and she started taking over commands. And then the less lethal shotgun showed up. Everything looked good until the point where the taser was deployed. And then it's like everybody deployed everything they had. And that's just like,
yeah, it was like simultaneously, everybody just fired off whatever was in their hand.
Yeah.
And you hear the taser beanbag guy go beanbag or taser, I think, went first, right?
Yeah, taser went first.
He's taser, beanbag, boom, boom,
Yeah.
And
it's like we said, it's like less lethal is a great option. And like you said, they had time, distance, and shielding. They had the distance, they had the time off was on their side, and they had some, shielding in between them.
Yeah.
And I'm only speculating, but when you do deploy a taser, it does have a nice pop to it, almost like a 22 round. And I don't know if they got sympathetic fire, startled the other people, but deploy a taser and then a shotgun and then lethal force, all of them in the split second of each other. You get deploy the taser.
You also he was standing in the backyard on the other side of all that shit, right? Mm-hmm. And then at one point, it looks like he throws his jacket at him. And that's what kind of started the whole thing. But I didn't see that he was advancing on the officers. Could you have used more de-escalation and, talk to him for a while? Right. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Right. Yeah.
I'm only seeing what you all are seeing, and, it doesn't.
But I mean, I know from personal training that if you deploy one less lethal, you have to give it enough time to see if it, was effective or ineffective. And then from there,
how can you write your use of force report, whether it was effective or ineffective, when you didn't even give it time?
Right. Exactly. Before everybody else started deploying. So it's like,
and I hate to say it, but it doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like everything was good up until that point when everybody decided they all wanted to fire.
Yeah. It, looks like sympathetic fire.
Yeah.
I don't know how the officer articulated it in his use of force report, but that's, what we have.
Yep, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's sad. No matter how you slice it, we don't ever want to see somebody go through that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we're going to move on. Those are our biggest training videos that we had to cover today, but we wanted to talk a little bit. You can learn something from this one as well. And this is our What the Fuck Are You Thinking segment. And for police. So I'll just show the video. Our voices will cut out.
And my passenger's getting arrested.
Turn that off, okay?
No, I'll keep recording. Thank you. It's my right.
Don't record me. You got me?
I will look. You're a police officer on duty. I can record you. And if you come to this side of the vehicle, I can keep recording you.
Turn it off.
I can keep recording you.
Turn it off. I'm taking jail.
For recording you, I'm sitting in my car holding my phone. What is the law? What are you arresting me for? I'm sitting here in my car. I'm just recording in case anything happens. I'm surrounded by 5 police officers.
You're being a jerk.
I'm scared right now. I'm not being a jerk. I'm recording it in case anything happens.
Well, you better hope we don't find something in your car, okay?
They're not searching my car.
Well, I'm going to search your car.
You're not searching my car.
Roll canine this way, please.
Bring the canines. I don't care, man.
Okay.
I know my rights.
Hey, I hope so. I know what the law is.
I know the law. I'm an attorney, so I would hope I know the law.
And an Uber driver?
And here, man.
And an Uber driver.
You want my bar card?
Turn on. Shoes on, bud.
Guess they're bringing the canines.
That's a whole lot of mess.
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out what agency that was, where they're out of? Or anything like that?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's as you put it, definitely contempt of cop.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you go from basically calling this random citizen a name, jerk, threaten them by saying you better hope you don't have anything in your car, and then basically not know what you're talking about?
Yeah. That is a civil rights lawsuit right there.
You know, it's like,
Yeah. I mean, he's free to record all he wants,
Well-
until it impedes the investigation.
yeah,
But he's not even the suspect.
No.
The suspect is the passenger
Right.
for whatever reason. I don't know. But at that point, he was actually even free to go.
right. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
Why are you detaining him?
well, yeah. I hope they weren't detaining him. I hope he was just
Well,
kinda
they
hanging
were
out.
because they were calling the
Well,
canines.
Yeah, I would hope that if he's like, okay, I'm out of here, and that would definitely be an unlawful seizure for sure. But he's probably, as we say, it was because he felt like he couldn't leave. He had police officers around his car, restricting his movement and telling him that they're going to search his, bring a canine out to search his car. So that's a seizure. And what did he do? He's an Uber driver. Best case scenario or worst case scenario, the guy committed a theft or shoplift, jumped in, and that's how they came. Or the cop saw this guy and recognized him as having a warrant. Those are probably the only two options you got. But you still don't have a right to detain the driver of an Uber car because he's not part of the crime.
I know, it's crazy. And then the cop just goes full on contempt of cop.
Yeah.
And
I tried to explain to like newer officers or just officers in general, if you do not make a threat, you can't back up. If you say you're going to arrest them, you better be able to, because if they call you bluff, you'll look like that. Because now he's like, I'm going to record you because I know the law. And he's like, I know the law too. Well, cite the law, sir.
Actually, this very similar scenario, just like this, was always in our training.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, they can record you unless they are messing up your scene or whatever.
I actually encourage people to record because I don't mind, because it's like,
I'm recording too.
I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize my livelihood and my personal life. So yeah, all I ask is A, you stay far enough back so I feel safe, and B, you don't basically interfere with what I'm trying to do by, interjecting yourself into it, and just, and that's the other thing. One last thing about that cop is, so he calls him a jerk, and then he threatens him, and then he basically mocks him. Oh, you're an attorney? And the dude's like, you want to see my bar card? And I was like, no. Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
time to go.
Dude.
That's when you like pack up shop and just, hit the road, Jack.
Yeah.
You're not winning this one.
Yeah. But just stop.
Yeah.
Just, and then he has to keep going, calling the dogs or whatever. And I'm like, for what? Now you're making it worse for yourself.
And making it, you're only digging a bigger hole for yourself for this guy to just basically bury you in, figuratively. All right. But yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of digging a hole, let's talk about this for a second. Okay. This is the Seattle Times portion that came out after Jason Rance's article came out. Do you want to speak on it a little bit?
Yeah, this goes back to Officer Daniel Otter. He's the vice president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild, and he was caught making a disparaging remark about this female who was born and raised from India, but here going to college, and I think she graduated from Northwestern, and then she was working on a master's degree there in Seattle, and she was struck and killed by another police officer who was responding code, lights and sirens, or at least lights. Struck her in a crosswalk and killed her. And then thinking that he wasn't being recorded, he was talking with the president of the guild and just made a dark humored, as he puts it, off-color remark of, oh yeah, well, she was only 23, so she had
27
he called her 23 or,
he
20,
did.
or 26, saying she had limited value because she was so young, as far as talking about the potential civil lawsuit that was going to be brought against the city and the department for her dying.
Yeah. And so as the situation unfolds, right, it turns out that he never even made it to the scene. He responded to the precinct.
Mm-hmm.
So the community, of course, as as well as I was just absolutely horrified that, he said this.
Mhm.
And he states that he self-reported. And to me, self-reporting means like immediately.
Well, yeah, within a day or two, or
At the latest.
At the latest, but I think he self-reported 8 months later.
Yeah. So, I was just horrified that, somebody would say this, and you should be the same person, whether you're in public or in private, because something like this affects the entire department. It affects the community. It affects this woman's family. It affects the other officers.
Yeah, officers in general.
Uh-huh. And you really want somebody that thinks like this as the vice president of your guild? And I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, and I don't care. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. But here was the kicker in this. So they put out the findings of sustained
for unprofessionalism
on the 18th, right, of January?
January 18th, yes.
Okay. On January 20th or 22nd, I can't remember now.
Might have been the 22nd.
They come out with an updated finding, but didn't backdate it.
No, they backdated it.
They did. They backdated it, so it still said January 18th.
So they're trying to make it look like their initial ruling had both the unprofessionalism and the bias complaint together, but it just had the unprofessionalism, and then after some pressure, it appears that the director of the OPA 4 days later added the other bias charge.
Yeah, from like a third party, like the attorney or the inspector general or whatever.
But he didn't say, okay, well, we amended this on the 22nd. Instead, they tried to make it look like that was the original ruling on the 18th.
Yeah. And the bias component would have been age related because he made his statement
about her age.
Yeah.
Of limited value.
So when you read through Jason Ranz's interpretation, it was completely opposite of the Seattle Times.
Oh, yeah. But you have to make mention. You want to talk about the memo that some of the commanders put out on behalf of the whole thing, because they're talking about that memo.
Yeah, the memo. Some commanders wrote a memo saying to the chief, I think, that they don't want the bias complaint added in there because it wasn't a bias incident. And that's how I understood it from Jason.
Exactly. That was it. Just take out the bias. It sounded like the commanders are coming.
Like this, if you let this stand, this sets precedence for every other incident coming down the pike on any officer.
Yeah,
that's how I read it, the article.
And it really and I felt like reading Jason Rance's article that the commanders were basically coming to the defense of the officer.
Right.
Yeah. But then you go to the Seattle Times.
But then you go to the Seattle Times, and it's the complete opposite. And I can't read the article because I've read too many articles this month, so it won't let me pull it up. But explain what that article said.
In a sense, there was a memo written by the commanders, but they were more concerned with if they added the bias into it, that it's going to basically give a good, as you say, any appeal to get out of any punishment, because of the bias really was kind of a weaker allegation. And so to put it in the way they did, and then to try to let this weaker allegation go through, it just sets up a precedence of, okay, well, now the guild and the officer has a better chance of overturning this and the punishment. So they're trying to keep the punishment, whatever punishment is met, strong.
I think the recommendation was a 30-day suspension or termination. I think that's what the recommendation was, but I'm not positive. But in any case, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened or what's in that memo or what the commanders are thinking, because I don't talk to anybody from there anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. All I know is how I felt about the incident from the get-go. And
Well, then, it also just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, because you have two polar opposite interpretations of that memo. one put out by Jason that sounds like they're coming to the aid and defending the officer, and the other one was basically saying they're condemning the officer, but they didn't want any kind of appeal to get over, the findings to be overturned on such a, the way it was handled with the bias side. So it's like,
yeah, it's just crazy how two people can interpret one memo completely different, and I don't know.
And if they both have it, why not just publish the memo?
Yeah, let's just post the memo.
I mean, if they got it because through their sources, then do a public disclosure, do it right, put it out, and let's see what it says. But yeah, it's just another black mark on that whole incident, and this poor family that's having to, suffer through this now too.
Well, it's just another black mark too on just the department as a whole.
Yeah,
get your shit together, man.
OPA,
everything, all the way from the bottom to the top. It's just, just a mess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They got to figure it out.
It's not very good transparency, as they like to say.
Right. It's another, yeah, exactly. Okay. So let's hop over to, this incident, and the city just settled a $10 million lawsuit related to the BLM riots during the 2020 Summer of Love. City admits no wrongdoing and says it's the best move right now since the litigation has been such a time and financial drain. Otherwise, this basically signals to anarchists and far-left activists that they can trash the city and now be compensated for their unruly behavior.
Right. Exactly. It's like, oh, I'm going to go protest, but shoot, I missed work. So I'm going to sue to make my back wages or something. I don't know. It's just, me. I'm like, if I do something wrong, I follow my sword and I admit fault and I'll take care of it. And one thing I didn't like about it, especially with the city of Seattle, and it all comes down to finances, right? How much is it going to cost? So, the bean counters get involved. Okay, to get all our witnesses, to go to court, to spend the money in the court. Okay, it's just cheaper. Give them $50. I'm talking about for me personally, where somebody, accused me of breaking their sunglasses, and it's only $50. I would rather go through the whole tort claim and to prove my innocence rather than just say, well, it's cheaper just to do it this way. So we admit no fault. Well, to everybody out there, you're just saying I was guilty, and I don't like that. And now you take it to this level of $10 million. I think what was there, 50 people that filed while they're on this class action suit. So you're talking 50 people with $10 million. And as you said, that's a 6-figure payout for just basically going down there and throwing rocks.
Well, there was a whole bunch of them too that Ari Hoffman had, put it together that I can't remember what the number was, but a good chunk of them are known Antifa.
Yeah. Yep.
So now here we've got Antifa, who literally set the city on fire.
Well, sleeping and living in their mom's basement.
Yeah. Getting 6-figure payout from the city.
Yeah.
All that money should seriously, I know the business owners are already, compensated. Yeah. And I know the families got compensated. And there may be some protesters that deserve something, but, when the shit hits the fan, you're only there to cause some trouble, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things is like, okay, if trouble is kicking off, then why not separate yourself? Because if you're the peaceful protester, separate yourself, move back a block, and then protest from there. You turn around and you want to play devil's advocate. Let's look at the January 6th, supposedly insurrection. Anybody that was in that vicinity is now a suspect. And what they did, they just stood around. But yet you got these folks that actually broke, big shopping windows, they're worth thousands of dollars, set police cars on fire, looted stores, and they got paid. Come on.
It's freaking crazy, right? You can't even travel to Washington, D.C. and stand in a public area, or mind your own business. And then they're going to, take your phone and download the data off your phone and, geofence you and do all this crazy shit. And just for breathing air in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, just for being in the vicinity. Well, remember we saw where the air marshals were now going after anybody who arrived or departed.
Even if you're going to visit family for
a funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, but that's how they handled that. But yet when you got the far left going to town and they're actually burning a city to the ground, oh yeah, we'll pay them $10 million. not one of, I mean, I think a few of them were arrested only for, I think, the gun charges where they stole the weapons out of the police vehicles. But other than that, nobody.
But they were let right out.
Right. You know,
they were there the next day.
But yeah, so it's what is it? A one-tier justice system?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to just do this brain teaser thing, and let's just talk about how we see it. Okay, because we're getting towards the end of our show. So let's.
Which way do you see the horse? Which way do you see the horse walking? This is a crazy optical illusion in which you can see the horse walking forwards or backwards depending on how you look at it. It actually determines if you're left-brained or right-brained. So the vast majority of people, like 90+% of people, see the horse walking forward. If you see it walking backward, then you're very unique. Which way do you see the horse walking? Only 1% of people can actually see this optical illusion. These look like a normal set of stairs, but flip your phone around and they will appear upside down. That is until you blink your eyes. Now they should appear right side up. Did it work for you? This is an optical illusion in which half of you will see the woman spinning clockwise and the other half of you will see her spinning counterclockwise. Now I'm less focused on which direction she's spinning for you, but I'm more focused on can you see her spinning in both directions? If you can change the direction that she's spinning, that means your brain is very dynamic and adaptive. So if you see her direction change by the end of this video just by concentrating on it, that means you're really smart. And if you don't, well... But this is really amazing. It's really trippy and weird. It's crazy how just a spinning silhouette is so captivating, and we can genuinely change the direction that it's spinning just by focusing on it. Which direction is she spinning for you?
So the horse, what way is the horse walking?
For me, it was backwards.
For me, it was backwards. Could you see the horse walking forwards at all?
Me, no.
No, me neither. What
I
about?
don't think that one's supposed to change, though.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's just you just saw it one way. But you know, as far as the staircase goes, yeah, I could flip the phone and I could see them upside down. But yeah, once I did blink, they'd go right side. It was kind of trippy.
And then the girl spinning, what way did you see her spinning?
I started starting counterclockwise, and I want to say I'm about 50-50. About 50% it switches on me, 50% it doesn't. But I've had it switch on me, yeah.
So yesterday when I was watching it, she was definitely going counterclockwise.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, maybe like in the middle of that video, they switch it, you know, just real quick and get her spinning the other way. So I just watched her and she's just, nothing changes in that video.
Yeah.
But my brain started to see her going clockwise all of a sudden. Well, just now watching it again, I can only see her going counterclockwise.
Well, see, that's the thing. I saw it going counterclockwise, and at one point it started spinning clockwise, and I kind of looked away from the screen for a second, and when he started that little second, and then it was spinning counterclockwise again for me.
Oh, God.
So went back and forth.
That is so frustrating. I don't understand. The mind is a weird thing. And when we do our next podcast, we're going to, you know, talk about the Mandela effect. There's some really weird ones that have come out lately.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Let's talk about how we end our show with just funny stuff and some
Happy
heroes.
Stuff. Happy stuff.
Yeah. So the first one is this reminds me so much of our friends, our old neighbors.
Yeah, Zach and Sonia.
Yeah. Zach was Snohomish County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
And this is totally something he would do.
Boats and boats and waterfalls, alleyways and painful calls. I'll be
pause it for a second. Now, for the people that probably can't see too well on that screen, what is she picking?
She has two choices: make dinner at home or dine out at exclusive members only club.
And he's allowing her to pick, and then he's going to honor. So, all right.
We laugh until we think we'll die, barefoot on a summer night. Nothing new is sweeter than with you. And in the street we run free like it's only you and me. Geez, got something to see. Oh.
Definitely exclusive members club, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Can't you totally see Zach doing that to Sonia?
Oh, yeah.
And I can see that facial that facial expression
yeah,
on her, like,
what you son of a
yeah, that is totally something he would do.
But Zach would probably be ecstatic to be in there, where Sonya would be like, "What the really?"
Yeah. So then Sonya should spin around and do this.
When you're trying to make your man jealous.
Yourself and live tonight. Yeah. Free yourself and live tonight.
That's funny.
I don't know why I think that's so funny, but I do.
Well, I mean, it's perfect. Make him jealous, piss him off. I don't know, but yeah, she definitely probably got the upper hand on him, because I wouldn't go to anything like that anyways. The hell, just listening to it gave me a headache.
Yeah.
But that was funny.
Yeah. Here is if you need an excuse for a sick day. This one is me to my boss. Calling in sick today. A wild boar attacked me on the escalator and bit my foot off.
The hell was that?
A boar.
A real boar?
Oh, yeah, it's a boar.
It looked like a big old pit bull or something. Jesus Christ.
It's a boar. I watched it like 3 different times and I'm like,
just going around jacking people up.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah,
I mean, wait, this goes back to our American Nightmare story. Like sometimes when it just does
so outlandish.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It is just so freaking crazy. You should probably assume that's true.
Yeah.
Because who the hell would come up? I'm getting off of an escalator and a wild boar
took me out and broke my leg.
Yeah. I mean, that's not something you would just make up. That's
that would go back to guide code, right? It's like, unless there's a photo of it,
it didn't happen. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just like, oh my God. But we got to end on heroes. We have heroes. We have somebody running for governor
or sheriff.
Or running for sheriff in Idaho. Sorry. Running for sheriff.
Big jump. But
yeah. You're right.
Stand up to anybody. Stand up to anybody that tries to deprive anyone of life, liberty, and property. Period. We will not cower from anybody. That is not what we do as Americans. Does that answer your question? Yes, ma'am.
Next question.
That answers your question.
Right. Well, I mean, what's the American dream? Constitution, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Mm-hmm. And right now we're
swirling the drain,
conceding that a lot to the extreme left.
Yeah. I mean, he's like elevated to hero status. Anybody who speaks the truth and just has that I don't give a fuck attitude and I'm not bending for you. I am in your corner.
Yeah. And
I will support you.
That's the great thing about most counties, right? They elect their sheriff. Yeah. So the sheriff answers to the people, doesn't answer to the politicians, unless, of course, you're King County, Washington, where you willingly vote that right away. And now their sheriff's elected. Jesus Christ.
I know. It's hard to even.
But yeah. But no, that guy's a stud. I would work for him in a heartbeat,
and
I would live in his county and say, hey, I'll back you even as a citizen.
So our last hero video is this rescue helicopter, and they're clearly military trained or something. But this isn't a military.
Clearly, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
they're good.
They're good. I mean, they're freaking good. Like they've been in the military.
Yeah. Before you show it, though, I mean, just the people at home, just look at the angle of the slope of that mountain, and to compare to how that
it looks like. I'm looking at the top screen right now, but it looks like a snowboarder or skier, and maybe
it looks like a mountain rescue.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, look at how steep the steepness of that side of the mountain where they're doing this rescue.
I mean, this is really freaking impressive.
It is.
It's really impressive. I mean, look at how close those blades are.
Yeah. And if you really can't see unless you're really paying attention, but look at how he's got the right side skid on the mountain. So all they have to do is just step right onto the skid into the helicopter. And and the nose looks like it's touching the ground.
Yeah.
And the helicopter, that blade is like within inches.
Yeah. And, the caption on this is big brass ones. And I'm like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, if you can do it, more power to you. Stay within your means.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah. It's almost like it could be a she. I'm not going to. Like they intentionally put the nose and that skid on the ground.
I mean, so that is big brass ones.
Yeah.
And, those are the people that I gravitate towards. You don't go with the flow.
Nope.
It's
like I say, stay in your lane. But if that's your lane, dude,
stay in your lane.
keep doing
But
what
if
you're
that
doing.
is your lane and you can rescue those people, fuck it. Rescue them. If you know that you are capable of doing it,
that guy's in a Ferrari while I'm in the lane next to him in a minivan, because that's just impressive.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely. Well, that will do our show for today, you guys. If you could please like and subscribe and share, that would be great. And we will catch you on the flip side.
Night owl. Thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Fuzz Buzz Podcast. If you're enjoying what you've heard today, please feel free to rate, subscribe, or leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the Fuzz Buzz. Y'all be good out there.